everybody. So I'm actually gonna start it off by sitting. I'm gonna get comfortable with you guys. So it's more of like a personal, I'm chilling in the room with my friends kind of thing. All right. Can you guys see me? Okay. Sorry.
That was my fault.
All right. So, as everybody probably in this room, because I don't think there's a human that's void of going through some type of trauma or hurt or pain, we all have our ways, especially in the room, I feel, because we're all creative somehow, of kind of transforming that. And I chose to do so with my book, Mosaic of Love. I wanted to kind of describe why the title. I feel like because of all those pieces that all of us have, a lot of the pain that we are broken into, we end up making it into a mosaic. So that's why I went with mosaic, because mosaic is just a collection of broken pieces made into art. And I feel like, I'm an artist as well, so I wanted to incorporate that. And it just kind of went into play. Just the artistic side, the poetic side, it just felt right. It's like each one of us and our broken pieces comes together as well, and like right now in this event, and just share it. And we're kind of doing a grand masterpiece. We're kind of making a grander mosaic. So it's pretty cool. It's like an inception of mosaics. But yeah, I went with love. It's Mosaic of Love because I feel like love is the only thing that actually does help us heal. And not even romantic love all the time, even though I feel like a lot of the book is that. But like for me personally, like my daughter's love, that's what really helps like keep me together. Family love, and like true love kind of experiences that I have felt too, which is to say that you don't end up with the person you think you're really like madly in love with, but that's a different story. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of a backstory as to why the book, why the title, and how I feel about that. I think I'm going to start with Iceberg. Do you guys want a backstory on Iceberg, or just want me to read it and then kind of guess? Okay, so Iceberg, I feel it's a little self-explanatory. Is someone that told me you're only right now getting to know the surface. I'm like an iceberg. There's so much more for you to learn and know. So that always kind of stuck with me because it makes sense. We're all like that, or a lot of us are like that. We only show a portion, but there's so much more under. In this case, you're gonna hear how that kind of played out. So this is Iceberg. I wanted to explore this iceberg and discover its depths. I wanted to dive beyond the surface and discover the secrets kept under frigid waters. I wanted to explore this danger and discover if I could survive. I wanted to dive aware of the imminent threat and discover if the Titanic and I would suffer the same fate under frigid waters. I wanted to explore emotions and discover depths which paralleled the Challenger deep. I wanted to dive and immerse myself, and discovered under frigid waters, I become an iceberg as well. Then I am going to read He Was. This one is a little self-explanatory, a little fast. Let's see. Hello?
There
Can
you
everybody
go.
hear me? Okay, good. So, now, next is he was. He was poetry and music. He was art and dance. He was the rain and the sun. He was. He was my addiction and my cure. He was peace, and in his arms I was home. He was everything I needed and felt like nothing I deserved. He was. He was heaven, and apart now feels like hell. He was my muse and my magic. He was, and how tragic that he is now a was. This is where I start to get a little, a little petty. This is where I start to get a little strong. The poisonous, treacherous creation you are. Back up. This is Black Widow. I'm sorry. The poisonous, treacherous creation you are. In the disastrous darkness you reign. Your ebony hair, body hourglass, and that red you're infamous for, which marks a kiss of death. So swiftly you appear at his weakest, trapping him in the web you created. Just for him, lust for him. The object of your desires, craving his entirety, the appetite to take control, to have him trapped in your bind. Who knew her soft kisses could be so deadly, destroying the one thing she wanted most? Okay, this one I feel like I should talk about because it may be a little triggering, a little bit. And it's very short, but to me it's pretty deep on like just abandonment in a way. And it can be taken in an emotional sense. It can be taken in a physical sense. So I'm sorry at the time. It took so much of me to lay my vulnerability out and completely open. I'm sitting here, and your silence makes my insecurities arise. And old scars begin to open.
You're amazing.
I feared this would happen again. If I let someone else in, you'd leave the door open.
Wonderful. You're
And thank God I put this one right afterwards. This one's Mr. Mediocre. This is where I'm getting sassy. Mr. Mediocre, I know you try to love me the best you can, but you're just a mediocre man. I ask for space, and you tighten your grip on me. Mr. Mediocre, I can't breathe. Love isn't possession, and in this cage, I'm just a trophy. I need to spread my wings, because being captive no longer captivates me. Mr. Mediocre, I deserve more than thee. Don't you see? Mr. Mediocre was once enough for the naive girl I used to be. But it isn't anymore for the phenomenal woman that is me. I can't bear the weight of mediocrity. I'm gonna stand up a little bit.
I'm not sure. I didn't really know.
I'm struggling there. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
We're stuck here. There you go.
All right. This is metamorphosis. The purpose and pain, she made beauty. As gracefully as a butterfly, she shed her old identity. Of her own confinements, she was able to break free. A metamorphosis of her soul was exactly what she'd need. And a little bit of backstory for that. My favorite animal insect is a butterfly. So I know I had to add something here. My first tattoo was a butterfly. So this one, even though it's short and sweet, it really means a lot to me. Let's see. I don't want to keep making noise. Yeah. Wait, that? Yeah, I might do that.
You're doing great.
would be me to drop something. All right, we're gonna move away from the crying and the pain and stuff. We're gonna move towards more lovey-dovey things. This is 100 ways. I can express in 100 ways how you are my muse. I can fill a 100-page notebook within a week or two of memories, of stories, of thoughts I still have of you. I can write and write for days, different words, but the context stays the same. You. I can flood this canvas of paint, stroking away the love and pain, a love time could not wane or taint, nor person nor place, the pain that exists now with your void. No pencil work to this masterpiece, permanence of an oil, depth of charcoal, like I am Michelangelo and you the Sistine Chapel, as if you were Leonardo da Vinci and I the Mona Lisa, the lifetimes they've survived, these muses.
Thank you.
Hey, hold on, guys. There's a whole other app. Ooh, see, I'm so clumsy. What's going on? I can create hymns with the way your love still plays my heartstrings. I can sing a gospel about the way I love you religiously. Not even Mozart could have composed a greater symphony. Musically serendipitous symphony of you and I. That elegy that plays most days with missing you. I can rain dance for eternity. If it meant another dance at being in your arms while the sky cries. Moved by the beauty and power of our love. The droplets tap dancing to the beat of our racing hearts. I can be a ballerina, the way I gracefully plie, hips and legs open for you. I can dance, your dance, this dance, our dance, till the very last beat. I may not have given you 100 examples, maybe about 20, but for now, I believe these are plenty. Now. Sorry about the noise, guys.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not that. It's like I keep hitting this. Start that. Oh, because it's short.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. This is scientist. So, hold on. I still got boogers, guys. I'm crying.
Sorry.
All right. I love science. Just gonna throw that out there. I love science. And like a little science geek, I have to do a little science poem. Was it physics that explains how our energy has come together so perfectly? E equals mc squared, our kinetic energy, a sum of our two bodies in motion and hearts racing at the speed of light. Or could it be chemistry, elements to be reckoned with, the covalent bond between you and I, like H2O, fundamental for survival? Or maybe a bond more ionic, opposites attracting to become iconic. Could oceanography express how you dive in exploring the depths of me? Or is it astronomy, in the way you trace constellations upon my freckles and discover galaxies in my eyes? There's no denying there's a science of love, and we are the scientists. Sorry, guys. Oh, we get a little spicy, like my sister likes to call it. All right. Oh, God. Okay. Fire. You ignite my every nerve ending. I can feel the temperature rise between my thighs, and my body tries to manage the fire. My growing desire for you is quite alarming. Don't you hear me sounding off? Body temperature blazing, sprinkler system initiated. Got my walls drenched, attempting to fight the fire. It's becoming a losing battle. I feel it all consuming. You must be an arsonist, enjoying the way I'm set ablaze, and proudly taking responsibility. Come extinguish this anguish. The desire hurts so good. A masochist for this fire. All right, now this is sin to follow, of course. Every saint has a past, and sinner a future. As I lust for you, I know my future is nowhere near. I have a glutton for your punishment. You manage, wait, no, it's not. I have a glutton for your punishment that keeps my wrath wrapped up on you. You manage to make me greedy, jealous of anything or anyone who can have your time and attention. I can't put my pride aside, knowing my love, our love, is what's right. And when the realization of your absence settles, the sloth takes over, and I can't even bear the weight of breathing. Lusting for you to breathe life back into me. A sinner, I can't help but to be. God knows I'd follow you straight to hell if that's where we could finally have our eternity.
Oh God, sorry guys. I didn't think holding it through.
No, you're fine. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this one here, just so I don't do that again. There you go. All right, this starts to get a little sad again, but with this, backstory real quick. The person that I last opened my heart for had to move, so I made a few poems on that, how that felt. So this is that. This is Till Then. Distance has come between us, but till we meet again, may the sun kiss you every morning, and the moon coddle you like I at night. Till then, may the wind whisper my sweet nothings, and the rain shower you with my love. May the waves pull us closer, till our bodies are one again. Till then, our memories are ingrained within the sands of time. Okay, this one is Measure of Love. When you ask, how far does your love go? It has recently traveled 3,000 miles. When you ask, how deep does your love go? Know that it is limitless, unconditional, and eternal. When you ask, how does your love last? Time is boundless and measure vast. When you ask, how strong is your love? I carry the weight of the world just to keep it from you. I'm going to jump back to Earthquake. You had said we were maybe a perfect storm. And even though storms may capture the metaphor of us well, I believe an earthquake is more fitting. Two bodies, inevitably shifting, pushing and pulling, our bodies came together as naturally as Earth's rotation, as it was destined from the beginning of time. The casualties of such a shock was undeniable. The tremors we left in our wake, off the scale. Hadn't you felt the ground beneath you tremble at the magnitude of our meetings? The world shifted, and it would never be the same again. A magnificent, natural, beautiful disaster, an earthquake, had occurred momentarily. We were both overwhelmed at the destruction our power could create. If we were to decide to let our friction thrive, who would survive? So we will stay apart in a way so others can stay safe. Tell me, do you sometimes crave the ground to tremble again? To tremor in fervor? Is it possible to be still forever? Sorry guys, sorry. I wasn't gonna do this one because I didn't think I would have enough time, but I'm gonna. And it's relatable today because again I'm gonna be very open with you guys and personal. Growing up, I grew up without a dad, and today on Instagram I have a half sister. I knew of her, never met her, but she found me, and it was kind of a shock. I wasn't expecting it today, not at all. But when I was younger, and I feel like maybe that's when I really started, when I was a teenager and I needed to write. I'm gonna turn this off for a second. Because I needed an escape. I needed to get everything I felt out with the situation that was happening in the house and everything. Because I didn't want it to let it affect my dorky little side at school, so I needed something at home, and of course poetry was it. So I feel like I had to add this poem when I found it in one of my old journals. Because even though it sounds very juvenile, it's so raw. And if anybody here has grown up without a dad, I think you could relate to what I wrote. So I'm just going to read it. And again, it sounds really juvenile, but I was like probably 12. So yeah. It's called Dear Stranger. Hello, dear stranger. Just had to say what was on my mind. You were never there when I cried, when I was sick or felt all alone. Don't you know you left a hole in my heart? I can't even begin to start to write down all the things you've missed. I don't even remember you giving me a goodnight kiss. All the people see is a smile, but all the while, my heart aches and my soul starts to cry because I'm incomplete inside. Other people have a real family, but I guess ours wasn't meant to be. Forever grateful for the things I've been blessed with. But I just wish I had someone else to talk and cry to. It would have been you. But I've made it through the world so far, and I'm shooting for the stars. So, thanks a lot, stranger, when you decided to go. Goodbye, stranger. I leave you with this. I go my way, you go yours. 2 different roads, out of my heart, to hurt no more. Ending in words, sharp as a knife. Goodbye, stranger. Try to have a good life.